So how do we create this change? Well, to put it simply, we need to practice and condition ourselves to approach things from the standpoint of what I want as opposed to what I don't want. Now, this is the true meaning of faith, even though it's misunderstood by many. And I'm not referring to blind faith here. I'm referring to an absolute focus, a knowing, a certainty that what I want or what I've asked for is the reality or is in the process of becoming, to the extent that we do not permit thoughts contrary to that knowing or based on the absence of what we desire to even be entertained, because they're based on fear. This is true mental health, peace of mind, and the freedom that you seek. To be able to control and direct what really is your greatest asset, your mind, the way you choose, as opposed to what is suggested to you from outside sources, whether it be your present circumstances or people or the media, and allowing that to control you, which is you being a puppet and a victim of circumstance. We call that victim or blame mentality. It was Marcus Garvey who said to emancipate yourself from mental slavery. And he went on to say, those who do not develop and use their mind are bound to be the slave of the other person that uses your mind. That is to say, who does your thinking for you. So ask yourself, and this is something which you can engage yourself in throughout your day, are my actions or is what I'm doing based on these ideas of love and faith, or are they actually based on fear? Is what I'm doing based on what I want, or am I perhaps focused on not losing what I have, you see? Am I engaged in activities to move me towards something which I desire, or am I perhaps doing something from the standpoint of moving away from or fighting against or even trying to prevent something which I do not want? So you see, what is really required is a higher level of understanding. Those of you who watched my 2-part series on goals, and I recommend everyone spare 10 minutes of their time and watch that, will remember that I liken the journey towards what we desire to a journey we're all more familiar with, namely by car or by foot. Because make no mistake, we journey towards our goals. Life itself is a journey. Let's say, for example, you wanted to purchase something from your local store, which happened to be a few minutes walking distance from your home. Because we have a greater understanding with regards to this journey and our ability, of course, to navigate around any obstacles should they arise, what we don't tend to do is contemplate the countless disastrous outcomes which could occur en route to the goal. If we did, we probably wouldn't get started. Imagine thinking to yourself, oh, what if there happens to be cars driving along a road that I need to cross? Or what if there's dog mess along the path that I need to walk down? Or what happens if I lose my means of payment along the way? Or what if a big grizzly bear chases me? And of course, all of these ideas sounds ridiculous, but most people do this exact same thing when it comes to journeying towards their goal. They question, what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if I lose my money? What if I get hurt? What if people laugh at me or even disown me? And we reason with these ideas and use these false ideas of securities as justification to prevent us from progressing. Like Earl Nightingale said, most people tiptoe through life hoping to make it safely to death. Never stepping out, playing it safe. Most people go their entire lives failing to have ever lived. But you see, the people that accomplish great feats in life too have these very same negative ideas come to mind, but they do not permit the excuses to get the better of them. Now, consider you're at the point of overcoming excuses to journeying towards your goals, which we can do in a heartbeat when it comes to that walk to our local stores. But notice, as I begin that walk, I haven't reached my destination with my first step, nor have I reached with my second step. And what we don't tend to do in that scenario is beat ourselves down and tell ourselves we failed or it doesn't work with each step. And you see, most people try something once, maybe even twice, and if it doesn't work, they give up. And you see, we seem to have tricked ourselves into thinking that you either succeed or you failed. It either works or it doesn't work, when in many cases it will work if you work it. And as Earl Nightingale also pointed out, as long as you are continuing to move in the direction of a worthy goal, then you are successful. And of course, by law, you would have to reach there. But it takes persistence, it takes focus, it takes direction. No doubt you've all heard people say never give up, which could be great advice. But notice that small strides directed towards a specific end bring you a lot further than large, aimless strides which take you around in circles. And that is what tends to cause huge amounts of frustration in people, because they're falling back on these old myths that success comes to those that work hard or to those that have the best education. And we even see people who get to the latter stages of their lives who feel they haven't quite achieved what they wanted, still falling back on these old ideas of, if I just work myself that bit harder till burnout, or if I change trade again, or if I go back to college for the third or fourth time, because they're falling back on the same formula or strategy which has never quite worked for them and never really will. If you carefully observe any successful business tycoon, and recently I've been taking Richard Branson as an example. This is someone who was involved in media, he is radio, TV, airlines, the list goes on. But if we take one of those avenues, be it the airline, and we dissect all of the components required for the airlines to work, of course you need aircrafts, but ask yourself, does Richard Branson himself know how to build an aircraft? Now, don't get me wrong, I can't say that I know Richard personally, but does he know to build an aircraft? My guess would be not. Again, ask yourself, would he know how to maintain or even fly an aircraft? And again, I would guess he didn't. Another question to ask yourself is, does he know everything there is to know about air traffic control and rules and legislation? Now, no doubt he is very competent and effective in what he does, but does he know everything there is to know about it? And again, there are probably gaps in knowledge. Even if we take things to more of the front end roles and ask yourself, would he know how to check people in or how to use the complex software in order to do so? And the truth is, he doesn't need to know any of these things in order to have a successful business. But what you do require is focus, direction, to know what you want, where to go and get it, and then having the courage to boldly step out and confidently move in the direction of what you want, doing all you can each day and having the persistence to see it through. Napoleon Hill pointed that out in his book Think and Grow Rich in the chapter on specialized knowledge. You might want to read over the chapter on persistence while you're at it also. So to wrap this up, I wanted to impress my belief upon you that this is the greatest time in all of history. And as we move into a new economy, this new digital economy that we are entering into, each and every one of you can be at the forefront of that. And I'm not joking when I say that everybody watching this can be, do, and have anything and everything you want. A common theme, however, I notice with many of my students when I begin working with them in hearing that is they place more emphasis on the do and have parts of that. Do being the vacations to go on, or the competitions to win, or the projects or businesses to start. And the have, of course, being the amount of stuff they can accumulate, the physical possessions or the relationships, without considering who they have to be. But you see, we cannot be the same person, that is, think the same thoughts, engage in the same activities, eat the same foods, watch the same programs, hang out with the same people. For example, things that have become familiar to us but are contradictory to the results we want to experience, meanwhile hoping to experience a different result. A person, for example, who has a negative concept about money being difficult to come by, or money doesn't grow on trees, or money being filthy, or even that those with large amounts of money are ruthless or untrustworthy. Meanwhile, having the desire for more money are actually activating the very vibration that will keep money away from you. But if you can place more emphasis on the B part of that equation, even set goals from that standpoint, then we are more cause orientated. And as you now know, all we have to do, all we can do, is take care of the cause. The effect will take care of itself. I want to thank you for watching this. If you found value in this video, please do share it with as many people as possible. I love hearing from every single one of you, so please leave a comment, even send me a DM, whether it's just a chat or maybe you'd like to work with me to make your goals a reality. Everyone's welcome. Send me a DM. Until next time, peace out.